What do I say to her once we get in the car?
No problem, Red. What you need is my special 5-point plan.
Come on, Damone, I need real help here.
What do you mean? Hey, men have died trying to obtain this valuable information, you know. But I'll give it to you for free.
Okay, what's your 5-point plan?
All right. Now pay attention. First of all, Rat, you never let on how much you like a girl. Oh, Debbie. Hi. 2, you always call the shots. Kiss me. You won't regret it. Now 3, act like wherever you are, that's the place to be. Isn't this great? 4, when ordering food, you find out what she wants, then order for the both of you. It's a classy move. Now the lady will have the linguine and white clam sauce and a Coke with no ice. And 5, now this is most important, Rat. Comes down to making out. Whenever possible, put on side 1 of Led Zeppelin 4.
Hello, folks, and welcome once again to another episode of the Scribed Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Gary Hill. With me tonight is one Suzanne Capoletti. How you doing, babe?
Oh, I think we've discussed this, but not as happy as I wish I could be right now.
Well, Suzanne, sometimes, the world makes you fall on a stair and just bust your arm, and, and sometimes, how's the line go? Some days you're the dog and some days you're the hydrant, and, I don't know,
Sometimes you're the windshield and sometimes you're the bug.
There you go.
But I was the kind of the hydrant, if you can consider, when I was playing with Nara and she knocked out 4 of my teeth.
So you're like a hockey player now?
Oh, no, got that shit repaired immediately.
Oh, okay.
Is Nara your dog or like a stripper from Vegas?
That's my dog. That's my Great Dane baby.
Oh, shit. Ain't no Great Dane babies. Those fuckers are big.
Oh, yeah, she's about 125 right now, but she's a smaller, she's kind of the runt, so she's a little smaller, but she's not small.
Can't confirm that for sure.
Y'all dog people freak me out.
I'm also a cat person and a snake person and a lizard person. I like animals. I don't like people.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. No, she don't. With us, you heard him talking in the background, so I'll properly introduce him. Jeffrey X. Martin is here as well. How you doing, sir?
I am well.
And Duchess is here too.
Thank God, somebody is.
Say hello to Duchess too. She's here too. Making
What's up,
noise.
Duchess? My cats are here too. CD and Twitch are here. You'll hear them running around.
Yes, indeed. like cats do. Yes, indeed. Keep this cool and real loose, because that's what the way this show is. I'll ask my one co-host, Jeffrey X. Martin, what's he been watching lately?
Well, nothing, and let me tell you why. My external hard drive died yesterday. And that was a 2 terabyte drive that had all my movies and all my music and my books and my articles on it. So now and pictures. Oh, yes. So now I got nothing. Let's see here. Streaming-wise, though, what was the last thing I watched besides what we covered tonight? I've been keeping a list of every movie that I've watched this year on my phone, just because at the end of the year, I'm going to be like, did I actually see that piece of shit? I don't remember. So the last thing I watched was, oh, gods, y'all. The movie is called We Might Hurt Each Other. It is a Swedish slasher movie. And I got to tell you, it's the dumbest fucking thing I've seen in years. Every person in that movie is an idiot. They all make terrible decisions. They all die in horrible ways. And it's their own fault. They don't run away from the killer. They run toward him. Why would you do that unless it's the third act and you're the final girl? No. Everyone.
Oh.
There's one point, I swear to Christ, they try to run away, so 5 of them get into a car that won't start, but they don't get out of the car. So the person who is the killer, just punches through the windows and murders all of them. Are you fucking kidding me? Why don't you have reflexes? So anyway, yeah, that's the last thing I
reminds
watched.
me of that commercial. I forget what it's for, but where they're let's hide behind
Geico.
the chains.
Yeah,
Let's
the
hide
insurance
behind
commercial. Yeah.
Oh,
hide behind the chainsaws. Why don't we just go to the running
uh,
car?
uh,
It's so good. Yeah.
So anyway, I watched that. You should not.
thank you for your suffering.
I feel like a martyr. I should be canonized at this point.
Anything else, good sir?
No, actually, and I've probably talked about this before, but my comfort watch when there's nothing else on or I don't have time to get involved in a movie is the Iron Chef channel on Pluto TV. And I will just
Nice.
watch
Oh my God,
Japanese
that's
Iron
amazing.
Chef because I love it ever so much. It's just like, this is battle, I don't know, fish testicles. And the judges are like, it's very nice. The flavor is really flavorful. And I can taste the fish. It's ridiculous. I love it. I watch it all the time. And that's it.
Oh my God, it is amazing, isn't it? I love that channel.
I do too. It's on all the time. My wife comes home from work. She's
I
like, "What are
know.
you watching?" "Oh, is this Battle Scallops?" I'm like, "Yeah, bae. Sit down. We're going to town."
Oh my God, there was one on Netflix a couple of years ago, and I can't even remember what the hell the stupid premise was, but one of the ingredients was English peas. And one of the women who was just like, I'm not getting that penis. I'm in tears on the couch. I'm just not getting that pea. And then she realized ness flavor. Like, no, you just said you couldn't taste the penis. I was in tears. I was dying. It was amazing.
She must have gone to Catholic school.
Oh my God.
Susan, what you been watching, girl?
Oh, I actually did it.
Besides the penis, you've been watching that,
Oh, you gotta watch the penis. No, I actually broke down. I watched Bratz. From day one, I've never liked Andrew McCarthy. He just never was one of those characters or actor. He was a good actor, never appealed to me. And now I was completely correct in my assumption. He is a fucking whiny bitch. But I will say this, Emilio, a little bit on the stockier side, but Emilio still looks fucking amazing. And this was just him wandering through, crying about how much he hated the label of the Brat Pack. It is worth a watch. I mean, especially my era. I grew up on all of those movies. But he is a crybaby. Oh my God. There's a reason I never liked him, and I was correct. And the other thing I have been watching oh my God, like mid 90s when Apollo 13 came out. HBO did this little series called From the Earth to the Moon. And there are a bunch of like 1 hour episodes about various things that were taking place in the program. And it's streaming on Max. And if you're into that kind of thing, totally recommend it. I've when it first came out, I bought the series. So this is probably the second or third time through for me, but I'm just kind of enjoying going through episode by episode and kind of reliving all of these because I mean just the cast of actors that they had, you actually feel like you're back in the 60s as all of these things are going on. Totally recommend it. And then Pat's like, well, what about Moonshot? That was the thing that, remember Barry Corbin, who played the astronaut on Northern Exposure? He narrated this little kind of, mini series about the lunar landings and the missions, which of course doesn't exist anywhere except on a VHS tape for way too much money on Amazon. So if anybody's actually hearing this, Moonshot, somebody do something with this for fuck's sake. It's fucking great. I can't stand If you show me naked and afraid one more time, I'm gonna go strip you and throw you in the middle of downtown Chicago. But that's what I've been watching.
Would anyone notice if you did that?
Probably not. They'd probably get mugged anyway, and they'd probably shove their hand up his ass, seeing if he had any money hidden up there.
Yeah.
That's what they do. That's how they trick you.
Oh wait, watch out for the people running around with nooses, dumbass.
They turn you to puppets. Come on now, you know.
Oh my god,
Puppets.
people are.
What I've been watching, not a ton of new stuff. I watched again, it's documentary time. I sat down, but I guess I wanted to. I was looking for a cry. I really didn't get one because it was very positive all the way through. Even in the end, remembering Gene Wilder is a documentary on Netflix now. But the life of Gene, of course, and where he came from and his career and his relationship with Gilda and his wife before he passed away, and it's very well done. It's pretty much narrated completely by him, through some kind of audio describing his career and his life, and so so that's you can talking heads you want on there, and I Mel Brooks is on there, of course, talking about his friend, and the ones that are still alive, of course. This is totally worth your time. Paired well, like a fine meat and cheese combo with Love Gilda, which is another documentary about Gilda Ryder's life, which is slightly more sadder. It's a lot more sadder actually because it's actually told through audio tapes and diaries that she had chronicled and kept, and so she literally narrates her whole thing, through her career and her struggles with her bulimia and just sickness in general, and that's very well made. But it's literally her own story is told by her. That's what makes that Love Gilda documentary really special, in my opinion. Sad stuff, but very positive stuff though. They try to keep it as positive as they possibly can, until the end where Gene Alzheimer's gets worse and worse, and he can't do anything anymore. And even then he's smiling with the dogs, which makes me happy.
Aww.
Oh my gosh. I was talking to X on this because I'm trying to sell X on this movie because we're going to do it on the show eventually. So I would talk a whole lot about it. I got searching for Bobby Fischer on Laserdisc, so I had to watch it. And I told X that I watched it today, and I was too lazy to flip the disc over, so I watched the second half of that movie like a good 4 times while I was editing the podcast and other stuff. It just stayed on,
I've never seen it. I've never seen that movie.
I haven't either.
It's a great film, great supporting cast, great themes in it too. We'll talk all about this when we do it eventually.
Apparently, we're still searching for it.
We are still searching for Bobby Fischer. A film that is not about Bobby Fischer, people. That's another film. What was that called? Pawn Sacrifice is a film about Bobby Fischer, and that has Liev Schreiber in it. It's actually pretty decent, actually. So go look for both of those movies. It will really make you root for a kid to lose, and not the kid that you should be loving in the movie, but the little bastard he has to play. You really root for that kid to lose in Search for Bobby Fischer. So if you really want to root against a 10-year-old to lose at chess, just go watch that movie. It's phenomenal,
I have to say, that's one of the things that I appreciate about you, Gary, is that you will watch stuff like Searching for Bobby Fischer, and I'm watching Island of the Fishmen.
And that's fine. Those are 2 different things, 2 very different things. And I will bore you with the context, but I got Riverdale for like $20 one day, and for the whole series, and I missed the last couple seasons, so I've been rewatching my Canadian melodrama, and been enjoying myself with it. I fall into these shows, people. I can't help it. Like Pretty Little Liars. You would think it's something that would appeal to me, but pretty rich girls, murdering getting in murder plots involved. I'm there for it for some reason. I blame Degrassi Junior High for my love of Canadian melodrama. I blame this because it's something that was on public television and we didn't have cable, so we watched a lot of it. So there's that, you know.
Are the girls in wheelchairs?
No.
Nope.
That's new
No
to
Drake.
that's new to Grassy, man. Come on now, you know.
Oh God.
I'm talking about like bad, like Square Pegs era, Degrassi Junior High and
Dude, I
Degrassi
can't tell
High.
my Degrassi from a hole in the ground.
So I'm not going to bore you too much with the exploits of Archie and Jughead and Veronica and Betty and her magical ponytail. I got to see it in person. It was, oh my god, I was smitten. I was smitten, brother. I'm thinking about it right now. Betty's ponytail. I drew about the goddamn thing, but um, I'm sure there's other stuff. I just you know, NHL Stanley Cup finals hockey was very exciting
I
this
watched Game
year.
7.
It was very exciting. It was very exciting this year.
Yeah, it was. I'm so
Edmonton
sorry
lost.
I did not watch that. Yeah, they did. But I'm so sorry I missed a lot of those games because it was some amazing hockey.
Yeah, it makes me happy that it's
You
still
see the
alive and
guy?
well.
You see the guy eating pasta out of the Stanley Cup? I don't even know who
No.
that was because I don't follow hockey. I was just like, God damn, what are you doing with that Chef Boyardee
Yeah.
shit?
Hey, a little fun fact about me. And my sister thinks this is very disgusting, but I still eat SpaghettiOs out of the can without heating them up. You know, it's one of those things.
Oh,
I'm aware it's not.
dude.
Now, Suzanne, I'm aware it's not real spaghetti. I just happen to enjoy it. Okay, you know.
Oh, like I said, to each his own. I bought a can. I was feeling nostalgic. Pat was out of town. I'm like, oh, you know what would be really good for lunch? A can of SpaghettiOs. So I got myself a can of SpaghettiOs, put it in a pot, heated it up, little salt, little pepper, little parm. It
See,
was fucking terrible.
what you're doing is you're expecting more out of something so minuscule, and I think that's your fault that you did not enjoy the SpaghettiOs. You know, because
I don't think
Suzanne,
Cootie Bug and I have heated up baked beans in like 5 years. Just
my
straight
friend
from the can.
my friend Suzanne, she just she likes to cook delicious food, and I think she was expecting more out of a can of SpaghettiOs, and I myself am like a can of SpaghettiOs, and I expect very little of myself, much like that can of SpaghettiOs, which I'm sure is processed at a factory somewhere, and maybe have a slight tinge of tomato in it. But you know what? God damn it, it's like fucking Lucky Charms or you know those disgusting little hugs you used to drink as a kid. Although they took all
Oh God.
they took all the sugar out of them, which is a bastard thing to me. They took the
No,
sugar out of the little.
that's blasphemy. That was the point of those things. It was like concentrated sugar. They would make you climb the frickin' walls for hours.
Well, next time you're in the hood, and I'm sure you'll find the hood somewhere, Suzanne, go into one of those Arab gas stations. I'm sure they have one of those things, and go buy a little hug and just feel disappointment. You
Until
know,
you put vodka in it.
well, it has no taste. It tastes like what it tastes like. My
That's what
grandparents,
flavored vodka is for.
my grandfather was diabetic. Okay, so she would make Kool-Aid with saccharin in it instead of sugar.
Ugh!
That's what that's kind of what it tastes like, or like if somebody like took a little hug and like mixed it together with vitamin water, it has like that strange aftertaste to it. That's what it tastes like now.
It tastes like somebody
Ew.
sucked on a lifesaver and then spit.
Oh,
And by the way, they ruined high C as well. I used to enjoy putting those high C's in the freezer and then just like eating them with a spoon. But all the sugar is sucked out of those too. But here's a trade secret. You go to McDonald's and you get the orange high C, it still tastes like the real thing. So does the Hawaiian
does it
punch.
really?
Yeah, and so does the Hawaiian punch.
Well, Hawaiian Punch has not tasted the same since they put it in a plastic container. No, you need that aluminum taste. That is where the flavor is.
I'm telling you, they knocked the sugar out of the Hawaiian Punch too. We're talking about like drinks from when we were kids on this show, and I really don't care. But again, trade secret: go to McDonald's and get the Hawaiian Punch at McDonald's. It still tastes like the real thing, you know.
Here's
Oh
the
my
thing.
God.
It's summer. I don't know if you can get it up where y'all live, but down here, we rely on Milo's tea. And Milo's does a half tea, half lemonade on Arnold. I can't say it. I can't say his name. Arnold Palmer. That is okay.
Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, if you can find the Milo's half lemonade, half sweet tea, that is the elixir of life. That is sandworm bile, and it will get you through anything. It's so good.
It is
Yeah,
good
because
when you get-
Tennessee heat, because I live there. Tennessee heat is not to be trifled with.
Thank you. And my
We
wife's a
do.
gardener. She's out in that all day.
We do get
Oh,
that around
God.
here. I do enjoy the half and half and the Milo's extra sweet tea. You might get fucking diabetes from it just by drinking it, but it is quite good. The extra sweet tea.
And honestly, the Milo's lemonade, me and my friend will go through gallons of it and apparently gallons of fucking vodka with it, but that is the bomb lemonade.
And here's the funny thing, is because, Cootie grew up watching Ghostbusters 2 more than Ghostbusters, so we call it Milosh. Milosh.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's great.
Thirst is like the buzzing of flies.
That's Vigo. You were like the buzzing of flies to him. Oh. Enough of that action. We're here tonight to do a show that Suzanne's been wanting to do for a very long time, and spiritual sequels to each other, I guess. We are doing The Wildlife from 1984, which is written by Cameron Crowe, and we're doing Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which is also written by Cameron Crowe, based on his book. We're going to start these in. We'll start these in order, I think, because I think it's important to do that. And with Fast Times at Ridgemont High, from the wonderful year, the best year, they're making a documentary about this year, too, for film, for 1982, right after this lovely trailer.
Universal Pictures presents everything you always wanted to do in high school with everyone you always wanted to do it with.
Hey, bud, let's party.
They're the students of Ridgemont High. Brad Hamilton, the fast food king.
I shall serve no fries before their time.
It says 100% guaranteed, you moron.
Mister, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna kick 100% of your ass.
Charles Jefferson, a man with a mission.
Oh, gnarly.
Linda Barrett, not exactly the girl next door.
Awesome. Totally awesome.
And Jeff surfs up Spicoli.
People on lewd should not drive. That was my skull. I'm so wasted.
See Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High from 1982. Cheapo plot synopsis is this. A group of Southern California high school students are enjoying their most important subjects, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's real fucking cheap, IMDb, but you're welcome. Directed by Amy Heckerling, who's made many things that I enjoy. Let me click on her thing right now. Clueless, of course, I enjoy very much. Look Who's Talking, and of course, there's more. She did the Western Civilization 2, or she did all of them?
No, that was Penelope Spheris.
Yeah,
I
Penelope
got
Spheris.
mixed up, see? I'm getting my female directors mixed up. But yeah, she makes stuff I enjoy. But written by Cameron Crowe, who you know has done many things. Featuring one of the biggest '80s casts ever '80s casted. Sean Penn as Jeff Spicoli, Jennifer Jason Leigh as Stacey Hamilton, Judge Reinhold as Brad Hamilton, Robert Romanus as Mike Damone, Brian Backer as Rat, Phoebe Cates as Linda, the great Ray Walsh as Mr. Hand, Scott Thompson as Arnold, who you may know from the Police Academy series, the great Vincent Schiavelli as Mr. Vargas, Amanda Weiss, for stuff like Nightmare on Elm Street and Better Off Dead. Who else we got here? Forrest Whitaker as Charles Jefferson. This film contains one of the best football scenes that ever existed. Uh, Kelly Maroney shows up as Cindy. Eric Stoltz shows up as Spicoli's buddy, and so does Anthony Edwards. And I will save him for last right now. The great Sonny Carl Davis, because he's a Charlie Band guy, shows up as the guy in the restaurant that wants the money back for his breakfast. Yeah, love that guy and everything he's ever done. That's that guy. That's that guy that's not Reggie Bannister, but he looks like Reggie Bannister. You know this guy if you're a genre film fan.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh! But this is Suzanne's choice. But I'm gonna kick it to X first. X, your thoughts on Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
There are reasons that Fast Times at Ridgemont High works, and even today, I mean, there are things that make it dated, obviously, but Fast Times deals with universal themes: challenging authority, betrayal, egotistical behavior, stoners and nerds and jocks, and the awkwardness of first sexual experiences, especially if they're with the assistant manager of a stereo store, terrible breakups, archetypes, all recognizable situations. So people in Fast Times are almost adults, not quite. They don't have the nuances down, and they're still learning how to play the game. And I think it's that earnestness that really makes Fast Times work, and it sets it apart from those other teen comedies in the 80s. There's not a whole lot of wackiness in Fast Times. You know what I mean? It's just these are kids dealing with adult situations that they've pretty much brought upon themselves. So things get convoluted in a realistic and grounded way, and not a slapstick sort of way. There's no pie throwing. There's no showing girl panties to the other guys in the bathroom. This is a documentation of the latchkey kids. And this is the generation I grew up in. There's only one parent to be seen in the entire movie. So Fast Times was just, this is young Gen X, right? Just like maybe raised ourselves. When you left 80s kids to themselves, shit went down. And maybe it hasn't changed that much. I don't know. But dude, I remember when you could smoke in arcades. I remember arcades. I remember when you could smoke in cinemas and you could sit in a restaurant with no shirt on. I remember when concert tickets were that cheap. I remember when chicks tried to look like Pat Benatar. Good grief. It was like the Thunderdome out there. And if you were lucky, you found some other mariners out there who were just drifting along as aimlessly as you, and you helped each other make it through. And then high school ended, and most of us never saw each other again. So yeah, but there are elements that date Fast Times, but these themes are ancient and eternal. And that is why this movie holds up. Regardless of your age, there is something to it that you can relate to. Cootie does not like, I always reference through her because, soulmates and whatever, but she doesn't like teen comedy. She hates John Hughes shit. But I'm like, you would probably really like Fast Times at Ridgemont High because it's grounded and it feels real. And there's no one named Long Duck Dong. So I think that she would really like it, and I really like it. I think it's an outstanding film, just a great dramedy. And I hate that word, but it's a dramedy. But yeah, everybody loves this. You should love this movie. Also, the soundtrack fucking slaps, and fucking Nicolas Cage shows up a couple of times.
Yep.
Eric Stoltz is there, and then he's in the next movie playing another character from this movie, but I'll talk about that later. But for me, the best part of Fast Times is Pamela Springsteen and Kelly Maroney as cheerleaders. Fuck yes. That is
Spirit
Sleepaway
Bunnies.
Camp. Sleepaway Camp and Night of the Comet right there. Bada boom. There's your crossover. Love it. Yeah. Fast Times rules.
And by the way, I will defend the Donger, for as long as I live, because that guy, for as racially inappropriate as it is, he's the only one that gets the girl early. He's probably the only one that gets lucky in the entire movie. I'm sure the Donger's getting it from his large athletic girlfriend,
Did Farmer Ted not get lucky?
I don't think so.
I honestly don't remember. It's been years since I've seen that movie.
No, Farmer Ted, he had to drive her home, but he didn't really touch her. I wouldn't think,
That poor son of a bitch.
Suzanne, go for it, girl.
Oh my God, I could not say my thoughts any better than X did, because the thing about this movie, it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's incredibly realistic. We've all been in some of those situations, especially us, ancient ass Xers. We were left to our own devices when we were left to our devices far too young. By 8 years old, I had a list of chores that I had to do after I got home from school. I let myself in. I made myself a snack. I did my homework. Then I'd run the vacuum or do a couple of little tasks around the house. And then after all of that was done, maybe I got to go hang out outside for a while. But it's every part of this movie is, like I said, right down to the breakdown of all the cliques. I mean, about the time I was in 8th grade, it shifted from Pat Benatar to Madonna. So I was in school with a bunch of the Madonna wannabes.
I'm older.
Oh, really? I think the Pat Benatars would have been a lot more fun, but I was dealing with the Madonna wannabes.
The Madonnas didn't hit for me until I went into high school. That's hilarious.
Yeah, like I said, this was about 8th grade when all of the Madonna, 7th, 8th grade when the Madonna stuff hit. Then all of a sudden somebody would show up with a lace glove, and then by, mid 8th grade, oh my God, people were getting sent to the office for they would have to wear t-shirts under these stupid ass lace, the bustiers.
Yep.
Like, oh my God, people, really? And I guess I've always been cutting a little bit more gothy at my heart. I throw on my fluorescent checked or striped shirt and a pair of fluorescent socks and jellies, but, hey, that was the fashion at the time. No accounting for taste. And don't forget the parachute pants. But everything about it's very real. It is. And once again, I'm at that age. I remember going to the arcade. I remember those ashtrays at McDonald's. I remember being 15 years old and buying cigarettes and no one gave a shit.
Dude, I bought cigarettes and booze and clove cigarettes at 15 and nobody gave a shit.
Exactly. The only thing that was really weird, we couldn't buy alcohol. So we had drugs. Yay. We had our Spicolis.
Yeah, and I had friends who were like, bruh, what do you need? Let me go in here and grab that for you. We're cool.
Yeah. And the other thing that was funny is, like, when I went to for the first time, I went into one of our local cannabis, just whatever the fuck they're called.
Dispensary.
And the dispensary, thank you. And I'm like, dude, when I was like 16 years old, you'd go someplace sketchy. You'd probably get into a car with somebody who was sketchier to go someplace else because they weren't holding. So, yeah, how did we even live? I don't know.
I never did.
But there's just...
But by the gods, I did so much.
No, I did my fair share of drinking, too. And the beer of choice when I was in high school was Milwaukee's Best, because you could get a case for like $6.99, so you could throw pocket money in. Which reminded me of the scene while they're sitting in All-American Burger. I have a lint and a nickel. I have a cigarette. I have uno dinero. But yes,
let me tell you.
There's...
I love you, but I need to
absolutely
tell a story real quick, because when I was in high school, which is about the same time. This came out in '84. I would have been a freshman in high school at that time. My drink of choice is what I called Happy Juice. And Happy Juice was Seagram's 7 and 7 mixed with Jolt Cola. I am amazed that I'm still alive, but that's what I did was Happy Juice, man. And I can't drink whiskey anymore.
Oh my God, a couple of the girls. Oh, if you want to have the worst concoction ever, one of the girls that I was hanging out with got this brilliant idea to mix Southern Comfort and orange juice. It tasted like vomit. Don't ever mix Southern and orange juice. Vomit.
The only Southern Comfort I deal with is a Walter Hill movie.
That's probably the best choice.
All right, I'm sorry, I've interrupted. Go ahead.
Oh no, well this one I can seriously wax poetic on this forever. There's just so many, like I said, it's you nailed everything perfectly and very eloquently. But it does sum up this movie. This is the 80s movie. This is the one that I agree. I've watched all the John Hughes movies. They're just a little too saccharine for me. Everyone who knows me knows I prefer things that are just a little bit more, I guess, dark. Because you have to admit, on top of, as you said, it's a dramedy, but there's like a little tinge of darkness to so much of it. I mean, when he decides when he's going to break up with his girlfriend, then she turns like, I think we've hit that time. It's time for us to move on. He's like, but I need you now. And he was getting ready to break up with her. And I mean, just the going to the point. I mean, come on. And then the encounter with Damone, it's awkward and sad. And you even have Linda who, okay, let's just say it out loud. I think everybody who's ever seen the movie, this is probably the most well-known boob scene in all of filmdom.
Hey, those tits were moving in stereo.
But it's just...
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting. And I knew somebody would pick it up. But man, female, everyone knows that scene. There's so much about the movie that's iconic. And I mean, I hate using that word because I feel like it's battered around quite a bit lately, and it shouldn't be. But it's a real down to earth what the 80s were like growing up. I mean, how many people did you know at 14, 15 that had part-time jobs? Lots of us did.
At the mall.
At the mall. Of course we did. I swear to God, my first job was at a fucking coffee shop at the mall. And I was like 15 or 16.
My first job was at a cinema at the mall.
Oh, you're a rat. You were a rat.
I was totally rat, dude.
But
I think the interesting thing to me about this movie is watching the downfall of Brad Hamilton, Judge Reinhold's character.
I know.
Just seeing I'm a single, independent dude, and then he loses his job and his woman and his shitty fucking car. And it's gorgeous to watch this asshole just completely bottom out, because you have to figure he peaked in high school, right? But that didn't last real long. It's amazing.
But I mean, you have to admit, when it came time for him to step up and be a good big brother, he did.
True.
He was, he was an asshole. He was a little bit, and you know what? Pride comes before a fall. So he did have to take a tumble, but he did end up being the manager of the Mighty Mart after he thwarted the robbery. So, good for you. Good on you, Brad. And I mean, I've had teachers like Mr. Hand who required you had this list and rigid rules. But, when it came down to the end, they were always there pulling for you. It's all realistic. I have to admit, one of my favorite things out of this movie is also, it's got to be when the first big tumble for Brad when he gets fired. And his manager comes out like, did you threaten this man and use profanity? Well, yes. Oh my God. If my boss ever heard me talk to people that got out of hand, and do you know how many times that would have been? Did you threaten this person and use profanity? Yeah. And I also told them if they didn't get out of here, I was going to beat them to death with a baseball bat, and then I was going to call the police and tell them that they attacked me first. There you go. But yeah, it's just one of those movies. It sums up at that point in time, and I don't think it's. I mean, times have definitely changed, but I don't think that the core themes of the movie ever will.
I agree.
So I'm just going.
Yeah, because they're eternal and archetypal. Yes, I
Yes.
agree with that completely. Hi, we've just gone off. How you doing, Gary? You want to talk about
Hi, Gary.
No, I'm back. I was have my mute button on because people was talking. Yes, they was. Unlike these two rummies, was not in high school in the 1980s. I was barely sperm in 1980. I was born in December of 1980. I get the vibe, I get the love of the movie. I do enjoy the hell out of it. Like you said, this is a film in the 80s that has like real situations in it that really sticks to landing. As far as like taking them seriously, and there's no pizza on the record player. There's no, archetypal. You get like one scene of okay, these are the nerds, these are whatever. That's about all you get through this whole movie. Besides that, they're pretty united as characters, which I can appreciate about a film like this. One mistake this film makes is that it did indeed forget the magnetism of Robin Zander and the charisma of Rick Wilson, because there's no Cheap Trick song in the soundtrack. And
dude, I didn't realize that, but you're absolutely correct. Where was Surrender in this? Surrender should have been in this film.
But yeah,
I Want You to Want Me should have been in this.
Yeah, fun times. I enjoy it every time I watch it. I never been to the Galleria in California, but if I watch films like this in Commando, it's like I've been there. Yeah, I can put it that way. And
that's where I saw that
fall. Fun times. But yeah, I lots to say. Lots of young faces that you see. Young Forrest Whitaker, but before he became, people make fun of Forrest Whitaker looking up here, looking down there. With the eye. He plays.
Let me say this. Let me interrupt you because I have a point. In this movie, Forrest Whitaker's eye is not lazy; it's just unmotivated.
Well, yeah, he plays Charles Jefferson, the star football player of the film. I mentioned the football scene, and I'm not lying. The football action you see in this movie after his car gets busted up by Spicoli and his little brother.
But my dad, I got tools. My dad's a TV repairman.
And yeah, that's just fucking.
I'm sorry, Gary.
No, that's okay. I'm having issues here too. But yeah, it's like a perfect 80s movie in that sense, to where the sense it gives like a little bit of realism, whereas you got films like this and films like The Last American Virgin, which kind of touches on like the seriousness of being a teenager, but it gets silly too. But this is just the right amount of silly. And yes, I did have Mr. Hand in high school. His name is Mr. Hayden, and he would do this thing to where you would walk around and you would say like, hey, no, so you use the word dude, and then Mr. Hayden would go, dude is the hair on an elephant's ass, and then you look it up and indeed the word DOD, dude, is the hair on an elephant's ass. So it's got that going for it, my Mr. Hand, and but no, the soundtrack's rocking. I will say this and Heavy Metal have two of the best Sammy Hagar songs in them. The Fast Times, titular Fast Times song, and of course Heavy Metal in Heavy Metal. It's pretty wonderful. excellent use of American Girl by one Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, although I usually skip that song now because I think Tom Petty's ghost is sick of American Girl by now. He has to be. He has to be. You know. Yeah, there's a lot more to talk about. Um, the weirdness of Vincent Chiavelli, just digging around the body, and he just was just saying, "I still have a heart." It's just it's so good. It's so good. And like you guys said, a lot of real life themes going on in the movie. Um, teen pregnancy is plays a role in this movie, and the douchebag that doesn't want to help, but at the same time, Damone, yeah, he is trying to help. He's trying to get some money together to help her, but at the same time, Linda, of course, overreacts and just loses her fucking mind. But
I don't think she overreacted at all.
well, he was trying to get money together to help her, man. He was trying
But
to do
he
it.
didn't.
But he didn't. But he didn't, and he didn't even give her a ride. Yeah,
He didn't
he's a
show
little
up, right?
prick. Little prick.
I will say this though, and you are correct that there are some elements of The Last American Virgin in this movie, which was really based on the old Israeli film series Lemon Popsicle, where a lot of that stuff actually happened. So in some ways, this is a Lemon Popsicle remake, but it's still super good. And Suzanne's right. Motherfucker didn't show up. He didn't come up with the money. He's a piece of shit. And the fact that he and Rat ended up as friends at the end of the movie, I wouldn't have done that. I would have cut that son of a bitch off.
Oh, I would have too. Totally.
Well, Rat is weak-willed, and according to the end of the film, still a virgin. So he's got that going for him. And,
Which is nice.
Yeah, he did show some balls in the locker room though, and still to his friend. So
Yeah, he did.
So I'll give
I think he
Rat,
should have taken the moan.
yeah, I'll give Rat that much credit. He manned up a bit, for his lady friend and against his friend, his best friend supposedly, But Damone has some of the best dialogue in this whole movie though, where he's trying to teach Rat how to get girls, and he does no matter where you gotta act like no matter where you are, that's the place to be. I love it so much, talking to the Debbie Harry stand-in cardboard cutout.
There's one odd thing in that scene, though. I don't know if anybody noticed it. There's a movie that came out, I believe, last year, and there was a sign, so I think I know where they stole the name from. There's a sign, a neon sign, Licorice Pizza.
Licorice Pizza, yep.
Same font, same everything, so I think we know where that title came from.
Yeah, so their relationship gets strained there, and I appreciate that. And like you guys said, the decline of Brad Hamilton, I think that, he was a douchebag at first. He came down, he had to wear the Captain Hook's fish and chips outfit, and he was very demeaned, but again, came up again, because you're kind of rooting for him a little bit. Like you guys said, he stood up as a big brother, so he kind of had that redemption arc with the character, so you kind of wanted good things to happen for him again.
We rooted for him to grow up, and he sort of did, and that's where I'm okay with that character arc. Yeah,
this is a film is filled with great character arcs though, and there's not really anything left behind, on the table, and I enjoy the 80s-ness of it. I enjoy the seriousness of it. I enjoy what X mentioned. The soundtrack is really good, and yeah, it's a must watch if you haven't seen it before. And no, I do not own this on Laserdisc yet. One day, I'll leave it at that. Final thoughts for Sue. What was your final thinking, girl?
Okay, well, there's one thing I forgot to mention, and it will come into play again. The girl in the Corvette. I think you guys know who that was.
Nancy Wilson.
Now, who was she? I don't know if they were married at the time, but who was she eventually married to?
Cameron Crowe.
Cameron Crowe. Yes. And I just, like I said, for me, this movie was very realistic about being a teenager in the early 80s. It doesn't really I don't think there's any movie that epitomizes the turmoil and the idiocy of that more than this film does. It's almost perfection.
Well, it's a snapshot. You know, it's a very clear portal into what things were like at that time. Because when you're in high school, everything is just absolutely fucking important, you know? You don't look at it as you do years on where it's just like, oh, well, that was just high school shit. No, this was happening. And of course, everything was happening to Jennifer Jason Leigh because, good Lord, that girl wanted to lose her innocence more. I mean, it took her forever to lose her innocence. I was just like, I need this shit gone. And it was gone. Bye. I got rid of that as soon as I could. But no, she just really, everyone in this movie has a sweet heart, with the possible exception of Damone. That's debatable. But they're just trying to grow up, man. And that's what makes this movie really relatable. We all just tried to grow up. It doesn't matter what decade or what generation you're from, there's something in this movie that you can pull out and be like, oh, fuck, that was me.
Well, I mean, Damone did show heart at the end when he went and apologized to Rat for basically being a horrible friend and an incredible asshole.
Damone can die in a fight.
But I think that's as close as you're going to get.
Yeah, probably so. Shithead.
Not a complete pass, but yeah, I will agree. But yeah, I think this quite a bit. It's a high recommend, you know, from all of us, I'm sure. And if you haven't seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High, it exists many places. It's streaming on Prime right now. There's DVDs. There's special edition Blu-rays. I kept telling myself, I'm going to crack open that Criterion Fast Times Blu-ray that I own, and I still didn't do it. I can tell you right now that it is chock full.
Guess what, Gary?
Huh.
I didn't either, but tonight after we're done, I'm going to go pull out all of those special features and sit and watch those.
It is full of special features. And next time there's a sale, which there's always a sale, a Criterion sale coming, I recommend you guys pick this up because it's worth your time. But yeah, good relationships, good times, good tunes. You know, what's not to love about a film like this? It's kind of like there's 100 bad ones for one good one. It may around this time, and I can't even. No, not 100. I mean, because you see a film like I want to say I watched other ones that it took place in different time frames, but this is probably the best and the most handled one of the 80s without being too sleazy about it. It only has a slight tinge of sleaze, and most of it is fucking Damone, so he's got that going for him. And Rob or Ron, the stereo guy.
Completely the inspiration for Ben Affleck's character in Mallrats.
Indeed, Ron. And if you didn't think Kevin Smith had that in mind, yeah. Like Ron on steroids.
Dude, yes.
Oh my gosh. But we're gonna click over to our next 80s jam, the spiritual sequel to this movie, as Suzanne says, and probably true. She'll explain all this. The Wildlife from 1984, which we'll get to right after this trailer.
Hey, this is America, Bill, so I want you to live it up, stud man. This is the last summer blast.
It's a fast life.
Great party, Bill.
Thanks.
It's a low life.
Who wants something?
I do.
It's a high life. It's a wild life.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Hi, I'm Bill Conrad, and you are...
Not interested.
Looking for adventure. And whatever comes our way.
If you don't get out of here right now, I'm gonna scream.
You won't scream.
I'll scream.
You won't scream.
Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace.
Well, you said you wanted an adventure. I just can't believe it's with a cop.
All of the guns at once and explode into space.
You almost got us killed.
Hey,
As soon as you're scared, you're dead.
Like a true nature's child, we were born to be wild.
You're the one who needed your freedom.
Well, I didn't know that was an excuse for you to start going out with the entire male race.
Born to be wild.
Now, from the creators of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, comes something even faster.
Would you like to be my roommate? I thought you never asked.
They're doing it.
It's casual.
They're saying it.
It's casual.
They're living the wildlife.
It's casual.
The Wildlife from 1984 has a horrible plot synopsis given from IMDb. A high school wrestler parties with his buddy at a swinging singles apartment complex. Fucking weak sauce shit, IMDb. This is directed by Art Linson, who only directed one other thing, which is Where the Buffalo Roam, which is like the first Hunter S. Thompson film with Bill Murray, and I think Randy Quaid's in that movie. I forget now. It's been so long since I've seen it.
No, you're right. You're right.
Okay. He produced a whole bunch of good shit though, so there's that.
Didn't he produce The Untouchables? De Palma's Untouchables?
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
big
dude.
credits, yeah.
Yeah, he was also one of the producers on Fast Times.
Oh shit, was he?
Yeah.
My gosh. This is written by Cameron.
I associate Linson with The Untouchables because I love that movie ever so much. But okay.
Well, of course.
Written by Cameron Crowe. Again, I wouldn't say a lesser 80s cast, but it's a pretty good 80s cast nonetheless, because this film has Lee Ving in it, so I guess that makes it infinitely better than any cast. The time where you made you think that Chris Penn was a sexy man. Chris Penn stars this film as Tom, the bohunk jock who wears weights on his head while he does sit-ups. Elon Michael Smith, who you will know from stuff like The Chocolate War, and of course as Wyatt Donnelly from Weird Science, as Jim Conrad. Eric Stoltz as Bill Conrad. I was forced to watch the Fly 2 trailer while I was waiting, while I had this window open, so you know.
I like The Fly 2.
You just get sad about that dog all over again, though. That's what Fly 2 does for me, you know. Like, hey, Brundle man, you got this dog, and we're just gonna fuck it up for you, and just break the audience's heart. I digress, though. Jenny Wright as Eileen doesn't get come down in this movie, so like the actual Eileen. You may know her from Near Dark. Leah Thompson, who may get come down in this movie because she's banging a cop. She plays Anita in this movie, which is Bill's squeeze. Rick Moranis as a bigger douchebag than he was in Streets of Fire, as Harry, the guy who runs the clothing store that old Jenny Wright works at.
You leave Streets of Fire out of this because that movie is a stone cold classic.
It is a good movie. I'm just saying he plays an asshole in it, so there's that. You know. Hart Bochner. If you don't know the name, you know the person. He is Hans Booby. I'm Your White Knight. He's that guy from Die Hard. Yes, he's in this movie. And back to PCU again. He directed PCU. Old Hart Bochner right there. He's in a bunch of stuff though. I mentioned Lee Bing. He's in this movie. Randy Quaid as and I could have swore that Dennis Hopper was in this movie, but I'm thinking of the wrong 80s melodrama. That was River's Edge, where Dennis Hopper played the crazy Vietnam friend who lived in the house that they were obsessed with.
Yeah.
Angel Salazar, you know him from many things, including Scarface. We're just gonna get right into this. I had a much better time the second time I watched this than the first time. I'll kick it to Suzanne first. What are your thoughts on The Wild Side, babe?
I'll be honest. I remember watching it when it first hit. God help me, VHS, and I went and rented it. I enjoyed it then. I watched it a few months ago when we were gonna do this another time. I'm like, no, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. So watched it again last night. It's just, to me, it's not a good movie. The characters, I mean, you know how in Fast Times, I'm going to be drawing a lot of parallels here. So probably not a good thing, but we're rolling with it anyway. They're not as real. They are pretty much cardboard cutouts of what real people are. And I'm just going to throw this out here, which may be one of the things that, as I've gotten older, that my distaste for. I don't like Eric Stoltz. He's always got that like smarmy, wannabe nice guy bullshit going on. I don't like him. I don't like his character. I really, I mean, I guess now for this one for me, it does not it doesn't hold up at all. Him going in, getting that apartment, my God. I've talked to many of my friends who have been trying to find new apartments now, and yeah, that was never ever going to happen. None of the characters are likable. Even Anita and Eileen, they're just kind of bitchy. Anita is trying to be this, really sweet, having her first like real kind of adventurous thing going on, and it just comes off as fake. I mean, there are a few moments that the movie has that I find intriguing, but to be honest, it's trash. And once again, we do have a Nancy Wilson cameo. Were you guys paying attention to it?
Whoop, whoop. Yes, Nancy Wilson.
Yep, she is the cop that Anita's banging's wife. She's literally on screen for maybe 15 seconds.
Oh, dude.
If that. And Randy Quaid's character is, it's once again, for me, the whole thing, we all knew that one person that was a little bit too obsessed with Vietnam and maybe hung out with somebody that was a vet that was also a junkie. That was about I think the only stand-up performance in this for me was the brief bits with Randy Quaid. And to be honest, I loved Leaving. He was the perfect cable installer. And I love the fact that he called Eric Stoltz a pussy. I don't like any of these people. I don't care about them. Their situations are absurd at best. There's no heart to the story. It's a very, very poor representation, and I really don't think it should ever have been made. I really have to admit, I don't know if Cameron Crowe did this for the money, thought he was trying to make a lightning strike twice, and it just was never going to happen. But there's just very little likable about it. Like I said, the two things in the movie I liked. Oh yeah, there is one other weird little thing because I kept looking at this scene. Okay, do you remember when they break through? Spoiler alert. When they they knock down the wall into his neighbor's apartment, and those people go in the fridge. One of the guys there was Ron Wood.
Ron Wood.
So for me, I think I spent most of my time saying, "Is that who I think it is?" And trying not to hate the characters as much as I actually do. It's for me, it does not hold up. There's no character. It's like I said, it's cheap cardboard cutouts of real people. I don't like it. And like I said, Eric Stoltz's character is a fucking asshole. I would punch that motherfucker in the throat. He's so smarmy. He's no balls. He was a pussy. I don't like it. I really just don't. I don't like this movie at all. Maybe after you guys have a few things to say, I might find one or two other things that I don't hate with a burning passion, but it's bad.
Fair enough. Thanks.
Everything good about Fast Times is stupid about the wildlife. There's not a single likable character in this movie except for Hart Bachner's porn stash. Okay, maybe Kitten, the TV dad. She's okay. But Chris Penn plays a different version of Jeff Spicoli, who his brother played in Fast Times, except this guy is manipulative and insensitive. Leah Thompson hooks up with an older guy before going back to the rat. I mean, Eric Stoltz. Elon Mitchell Smith comes 2 clicks away from being a Columbine role model. Jenny Wright forgives Chris Penn's character for being a slavering jackhole before he puts her in his car against her will. Rick Moranis is a mall creeper with Ghostbusters 2 Janosch hair. And why is there so much cigarette eating? It happens 3 times in this movie. In the entire decade of the 1980s, I saw it happen in real life once. One time. And that was it. The wildlife leans into ridiculous slapstick, but there's no need for it. I guess this is part of the let's have a wild and crazy party subgenre, but good grief. With a little more effort and maybe a little less studio meddling, I don't have any evidence of that, but it feels like it. The wildlife could have been the spiritual sequel to Fast Times, but instead you've got adults pretending to be in high school, getting into outlandish situations, and in the end, everyone forgives each other for being stupid, and they drive off happy. What the fuck is going on here? This is nonsense. And I think that I am most angry at Elon Mitchell Smith's character because he went from being a Vietnam nerd who blew up the statue in front of the high school to a kid who straightens up after he sees Randy Quaid do heroin. Like, why isn't this kid already on heroin? He should be mainlining heroin in the bathroom at the school. Like, that is his line? Like, he can't cross that? He gets mad because he can't buy weapons at the Army surplus store, but heroin in his line is his line? Fuck you. I don't buy that. If you're making a screwball titties and PBR party movie, it's got to be grounded in some sense of reality, and the wildlife just isn't. It's like a shitty 8-bit simulation of better movies.
And did you see who the Army surplus store clerk was? That was Ben Stein. Remember waiting Ben Stein's money? And there was and I hated the catchphrase. That catchphrase just, it's like fucking fingernails on a chalkboard.
Hey, it's casual.
Oh! Oh God! It's like he got this idea in his head for a catchphrase and then tried to write a movie about it. It's fucking bad.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Yeah, it does. That's not how it works. It's got to be organic.
Oh boy. Yeah, I like this probably way more than I thought I should, because first of all, everything you've seen Ellen Michael Smith in, he was kind of like, that guy, like that nerdy little brother. He's still kind of that nerdy little brother in this movie, and I think that he's the only one in the film. I mean, you guys talk about him seeing Charlie doing heroin in the bathroom, who has some kind of redemption arc in a way, because he doesn't want to live the way he's been living. The old narcissist, heralding, wartime, Vietnam people and yada yada yada, whatever the fuck little anarchist is fucking doing in the film. But at least he changed, his ideas. Now Eric Stoltz in the film, he has no spine throughout the entire film, because he lets Tom, captain of the wrestling team, provoke him and make him do just what he wants him to do. Even in the end, where you have that party at the apartment, and now if he had any spine, he would call the fucking cops, because that party is clearly out of control. You got fucking dumbasses. He's fucking knocking a hole in the wall. He just casually goes next door, dancing with Anita. Like, yeah, here I go. I'm just not living, these adult responsibilities that I'm preaching, and it's fucking nuts. And like you said, other characters are not believable. You got Rick Moranis as again pervy mall skanker in this film. I guess he plays that role pretty well. I guess, but
I'm sorry. That's a
it's
great line.
it's like watching Teen Witch. Okay, the girl gets powers in Teen Witch, but at the end of the film, she still gets to do. She doesn't learn shit from her mistakes. None of these people in this film do not learn shit from their fucking mistakes, except for Jim. He learns, well, maybe that's not the way to live. Other ones are all like, oh, I'm still gonna hang out with Tom and party down and blah 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 blah. And these dumb girls will still hang out with us because they're those type of girls. And it's just deplorable people. And again, like you guys say, you don't root for any of them. You don't root for any of them. And the stripper scene with Kit Navidad is probably one of the best things ever. If you guys don't know who that is, she's a old school porn actress with wonderful assets, if you will. You know, just shaking and being showcased in this movie, also well. So
huge.
I'm sorry.
I mean, that was the perfunctory tits and ass scene that I guess every 80s movie had to have with an R rating, but it showcased more of how much of an ass Tom was. If I was those dudes next to him, I would have fucking thrown his ass out much earlier.
Just not your friend. He's not your friend, and he doesn't. Bill nor learns nothing from the situation. They're still buds at the end. Like, no, like I could possibly fucking get sued by the guy that's makes porno for Burt Reynolds and Boogie Nights. You know, this could be a major lawsuit. I could possibly go to jail for this. But you know what? Tom's got some PBR in his fridge. Let's go party some more and just forget about grown-up responsibilities and, you know, hitting on divorcees by the pool and. Oh my gosh. And that's one redeeming feature.
Weights attached to his football helmet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. One redeeming thing I'll say about this film is he doesn't win anything. Bill. He doesn't get the hot divorcees on the pool side. He doesn't really get Anita. You know, he does, but even then, when they get to the party, she's just as dumb and hapless as the rest of them. She's like, oh, these morons just knocked down the drywall and, you know, ruin these fucking squares evening playing fucking Scrabble or some shit. You know, let's dance and party in their apartment next door. It's like, no, there's a lot wrong with this situation, and you guys should recognize that. And, you know, again, hero of the day is Jim. You know, good old Wyatt Donnelly holding it down for me in this film. Just fucking smoking and doing nunchucks and, you know, carrying a jam box I'm jealous of to this day. It looks like a very good jam box. And so,
Can I
Jim.
slide something in here real quick?
Go ahead.
Sorry, but the girl that Jim was attracted to, her boyfriend is Dick Rude, who was in Repo Man and encouraged people to do crimes and eat sushi and not pay.
Okay, I've been trying to place that boy the past 2 times instead of actually going to IMDb. I'm like, no, I was doing the whole wait in the before times without internet or cell phones. Like, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. Holy
Just
shit,
fucked
that's who
your
the
shit
fuck
up.
it is.
Sorry.
No. And there's one other thing that he's bugging me about this. It's a really minute little detail. Okay, Bill works at a bowling alley. What was he getting paid? Because I remember when he was sitting in the rental office, well, I put down the $9.40 already. How much are you making at the bowling alley?
Honey, he saved up all summer to get that apartment. He said that.
But yeah.
But I know.
Well, I know he did.
He was
But
making $5 an hour.
It's that. Jesus, this is probably back in the day where it was like $3.35.
Well, if you worked at the bowling alley, my buddy worked at, you sold weed to the porters in the back, and, you know, that's how you made you a little bit of money. Right there, your extra money. Yeah.
Right, that's fair. That's completely fair.
But I think that Jim is very redeemable, the only redeemable character in this entire film, because he realizes, you know, what he was doing was bullshit. And you could tell that he kind of, you know, turned it around a little bit for himself. So I'll commend the Jim character, and
Nope.
I'll do it. I'm trying to look for redeemable qualities in these characters, and he's the only one that's stretching towards it. Okay, you know.
No, because he's just like, oh, is there a party going on in my apartment? I don't know where Tom is. We should go somewhere and fuck. Let's find an empty room where we can fuck.
No, that's Bill. That's Eric Stoltz.
You're talking about Jim, who suddenly gets straight because he saw Randy Quaid tying one off.
Yeah, but he has a morality moment there to say, hey, maybe I should live my life like this. Nobody else has this in this movie. You know.
Well, it should have been showcased a little bit better instead of wearing army fatigues, is wearing a flannel shirt and a pair of jeans. You know, it's like I know, like I said, we don't need this shit spoon fed to us, but you almost kind of need at least a little bit of redemption there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you know, like I said, we're intelligent, logical people, so we understood the jump, but I think it should have been even just a little bit showcased, like him taking the Vietnam poster off of his wall and, you know, maybe just sitting with his head in his hands for a minute.
Honey, this isn't American History X. This is the wildlife, okay? I'll take what I can get. Okay?
Oh, no. I'm just saying that, and I do agree that he is about the only somewhat redeemable character, but I just don't think it was done properly.
I agree. His redemption arc was not an arc. It was a straight line. And that bothers me ever so much.
Well,
if
you see Randy Quaid banging another homeless guy, under a boardwalk or something, it might make him go a little faster then. Like, hey, shouldn't live a life this way, But I will say one redeemable quality about this film, one more, is that Chris Penn was not too attractive a few years later after this movie, so there's that. That 90s Chris Penn was he got a little thicker, so there's that. It's like when I tell people that Mickey Rourke used to be an attractive man, and they don't believe me. I was like, well, here's this film, this film, this film. Tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
You know what though? If Jim had just stopped in front of the high school and just yelled, "Shitter's full," then we would have understood where he was through his redemption arc. But it just didn't work for me. I was just like, oh, what? You saw dude doing drugs, and now you're just like, oh, fuck, I don't want to be that. No, dude, I need more substance than that. I need more substance for a lot of this film.
Well, in this film, the shitter is full because there's a bunch of shit people, so it's got that going for it,
Vapid.
That's fair.
Oh my gosh. Suzanne, any final things you want to say about the wildlife?
It's a very badly put together film with highly unlikable characters, completely and totally in stupid situations that would never happen. There is no, even going back to my years in the 80s, any situation that could even possibly be realistic. It was just, it was, I don't want to say fluff because I'd be giving fluff a bad name because everybody needs a little fluff. No, this was just bad. Except for Lee Ving. I'll take Lee.
Cool. X.
I'll take Lee Ving and Ron Wood dragging a cold turkey out of the fridge. That was pretty great.
Was that a turkey or a ham?
It looked like a turkey.
Look at turkey. I could be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. I don't give a shit. I was just like, fuck, is that Ron Wood? And I was like, oh, that's totally Ron Wood. I will give this movie half a star just because of Hart Brockner's amazing facial hair. Excuse me. But bruv had the Harry Reams mustache going, and that was pretty great. He's the best part of this movie. Everybody else can suck a fuck. I hate this goddamn movie. Yeah, fucking half a star.
I'm with you on the half a star. That's it, and that's even for me. Like I said, Lee Ving is the reason it has half a star, and a lot of that is because he called Eric Stoltz a pussy.
And that's fair. And Lee Ving is one of the reasons that Clue is a great movie.
Oh yeah, Mr. Body.
Fuck yeah. But also Lee Ving, I mean, fuck, you know, fucking let's have a war. Fucking fear leaving. We know who he is outside of movies, which is why we're so impressed. But fuck yeah, he was great, and Hart Bachner's upper lip was great, and nothing else in this movie was.
More positive things to say about the wildlife. Again, we get like a 1.5 for B. You know, half a star for Kitten Navidad dancing to The Girl Can't Help It. She gets half a star. Even Michael Smith's lackluster, half-hearted redemption gets a half a star. And the fact that the soundtrack contains classic rock, along with Prince and Bananarama, gets a half star. So that's 1.5 stars for the wildlife for me. Again, a lot of them likable people, like you guys said. It's hard for you to debate that because at the end of the day, nobody is redeemable in this movie. They're just not. So you're like, yeah, this is an age film I saw, but there's better stuff out there, you know.
And yet they still get redeemed. And I'm angry about that. Yeah. I'm angry about how Tom and Eileen ended up. Like, are we okay? Cool. I will pick you up and put you in my car. And Tom and what's her face just like, I'm gonna find another place to live. It's cool. Hey, everything is fine.
It doesn't matter that we trashed 2 apartments and and had to have a pool probably cleaned out, along with hallways and everything. And sure, nothing's ever going to come of that. They're not going to get sued.
No. Well, dude said they were going to have a lawsuit, but there goes Eric Stoltz off to fucking Daniel LaRusso's goddamn motel house. Just, no. Stupid.
Oh, my God.
There's no consequences.
Oh, my God, that's it. That is it. There's no consequence to the horrible things that all these assholes did. Also, they're all like fucking 25, 30, pretending to be in high school. Kiss my fucking ass.
I think Elon was the only one that might have been a teenager. At that time, I think he was. I could be wrong. But everybody else was, yeah, you're right, in their 20s, 30s. And I love Jenny Smith, but she did not look like she was 17, 18 years old.
Yeah, that's true. But, yeah, that's that. And we'll be right back to close out the show.
This is a test of the emergency podcasting system. Listen to the Psychosemantic Podcast. Politics, movies, and political movies. Find us on Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, legionpodcasts.com. The Psychosemantic Podcast.
All right, folks, that's the end of this one. Not sure what we're going to be doing next because Suzanne has to have surgery, unfortunately, and Cootie's birthday is coming up, so you might get the next thing that I'm going to mention right now, which would be another 80s romp of a show, but dealing with addictions and the white folks that come along with it. Living straight into the Brat Pack lifestyle. We're going to do St. Elmo's Fire because I've never seen it, and alcoholic white folks playing a saxophone.
No. Back up. No. You've never seen St. Elmo's Fire?
We had this conversation.
That's what I said. Carrie and I had this not too long. Yes, we did.
Oh, my. Okay, cool. Yay.
I watched the music video, and I fully believe that fucking Frank Stallone looking motherfucker could not even get a comatose Demi Moore. But, you know, it happens in that video, so I have faith in St. Elmo's Fire burning in me as well. Like a bad case of VD.
Oh, God.
Speaking of VD,
Elmo's chlamydia,
or possible herpes. You know, in one scene, we're talking about the cocaine-induced white folks with problems movie, Less Than Zero, a film in which
oh my God,
James Spader literally gets blown by Robert Downey Jr. So there's that. You know, because cocaine's a drug. Say again?
No, James Spader was him.
Just getting in there. But that's what we're doing next, probably. Unless something comes in between.
Punks on dope. Mom and Dad live in Hollywood.
Less than zero in St. Elmo's Fire on You're Probably Next in the podcast. That's the lineup. That's what we're doing. All the good endings. Go head over to the Patreon for Legion. Get some good stuff there for $2 a month. Early releases from Court Psyops, including his pirate radio edits of his show, which includes the real music he intended to put on the show, and early releases, video versions of Two Drink Minimum commentaries, old ones, and the new ones are going to be coming, I promise, with video on the Patreon. Other stuff. Last Call of Torchies. Next week we're scheduled to do a show. Supernova is the next in line, which I remember being just fucking deplorable. To go with the Patreon.
It's bad.
Yeah, the Patreon episode we're doing Event Horizon, so we're redeeming Supernova with a good movie. So there's that.
Gary, can I talk about my shit real quick?
Oh, yes, you can, sir.
I mean, I don't want to be an interrupter.
No,
but,
this is your shit too, brother. Go for it.
Okay. Kiss the Goat has its own Patreon, and we are coming back in July with whatever the fuck season. We always plan Kiss the Goat like a radio theater sort of thing, but we are trucking across the USA in the next season, and the first season should drop in July, and I can't remember where we're going. Oh, we're going to Louisiana. So anyway, find us on Patreon, and please subscribe to get the newest shit, because we're going to have a whole lot of fun.
They'll go dancing across the USA. Do the whole song for you guys if you want. I don't care. Oh my gosh. But Kiss the Goat Patreon. Go look for that. He has all his old episodes on there too. And I'm glad HBK found his smile again. Is all I'll say about that.
God damn it! Don't fucking bring that asshole up.
BX know what that means, okay? But this has been Simpy Podcast. Where if you've got beef, we've got the grinder. We'll see y'all next time.
Don't forget to tip your bartenders. They put up with your shit.